Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market and give you guys my thoughts on what possibly could be going on because you have a variety of choices out there, YouTube videos, and you know, some are still calling for that $8,000 to $9,000 Bitcoin. I'm not going to say anything like that until Bitcoin finishes this wedge. I want to see completion of the wedge with Bitcoin. And if it pops up and then it's playing around up here and it's going to look like it's going to trek back down some more, then we'll see from there. But in the meantime, are you going to get yourself prepared? Are you going to get yourself prepared because it could come down there and boom, get out of there. It could do a shot right there. I will be doing that trade if I see the opportunity. Okay. So what I'll show you guys, let me go over here to this one. We'll go back to Quant. All right. This reminds me, Bitcoin right now reminds me of this on Quant. Just watching it come down right here, tagging on that trend that I had set up, and boom, it went off. And that was a good call right there. Not to boast or brag, but it's truth. And I was just kind of taken by surprise how much Ethereum and Binance coin went up. You know, back in June, if you would have dumped some cash or money or stables into Ethereum, it went from $880 to, or I think over 2,000, right around 2,000. I was over at 2x on Ethereum, guys, on Ethereum. So the opportunities are there. And I think the opportunities could be come back. So I'm going to go over Bitcoin. Nothing has changed with Bitcoin. You go in there. I might have it on the descending wedge. Those reviews my channel. I'll let you know. It's in my opinion, it's in this descending wedge. I have it on a 3-day chart right now. It's coming down into the descending wedge. My argument for the wedge is that this area right here touched the bottom of that area right there. Typical of a wedge. So this section here down, you call this your wave 1, 2, you back down for 3, up for 4, and it touched that area to come back down here. The issue with this wedge are these wedges. This is a large wedge. A big wedge that started in, let's see, when did it start? Say 14 August, and it's going to take it all the way to probably January, February timeframe. Okay. So the thing that I'm preparing for mentally is the amount of time. Okay. So I've already prepared myself mentally for at least March. Okay. So the reason I do that is because I don't want to be taken by surprise, right? So I'm like, okay, if Bitcoin bottoms in January, well, you know what that means. Oh, yeah, we're going to get ready to rock and roll. But if it does in February, you're like, come on. And then now it's in March. It won't be a surprise to you. So that's why I do that. Suggest maybe you guys probably want to do something like that too. Prepare yourself, get yourself, which coins you want to get into. Now, the other thing is too, that's vitally important is a lot of people just pay attention to Bitcoin, and they're over there saying, don't mess with the alts because, Bitcoin is just going to go down. It's going to take over the cryptocurrency market and all the money is just going to flood into Bitcoin. And maybe that's true. But if I see the appropriate setup in altcoins, then I will be going into them for sure. Okay. You take a look at the altcoins like in the last run. So like Quant here was a coin. They were saying this back then too. That's 400x if you were able to time that 400%, excuse me. 400% if you're able to time that perfect. Let's say 2x, really, because nobody can hit the exact bottom. I don't do it. I don't dump everything in at once. I don't do that. I just here and then go along, and then it ends up maybe being a 2x. But you recall right in this area, they all said the same thing. Don't touch the altcoins. They're all going to zero, guys. Only Bitcoin. It's safest one. Which, as far as safety, if you want to look at it like that, guys, I would agree with that. It's probably the safest as far as losing less on your capital in Bitcoin, okay? But if you think about that, that's more of a investor mindset, okay? An investor mindset and not a trader mindset when you are looking for opportunities like that, okay? So traders are looking for the volatility. And by the way, we have real low volatility on Bitcoin. A lot of people on the YouTube channel has been talking about, look at this low volatility. And if you do look at the volatility index on Bitcoin, it is very low volatility, and that's usually a signal for a bottom being closer than probably people realize. Um, However, I take things in steps, because for Bitcoin to get to these real low numbers that are being called for below 10K, as an example, Bitcoin needs to finish, in my opinion, it needs to finish this. It needs to finish this and then reevaluate, and you go from there. Okay. It could take Bitcoin 30 days, 45 days, maybe even 60 days to get down here, guys. You have to realize that. So I want to go with those numbers. The top end targets for Bitcoin is, I mean, look, if you just a corrective bounce over here, I mean, that's going to be some serious gains over here of just Bitcoin. Bitcoin just needs to make a move, a minor move, not even this big over here in this wave one that it did over here. Okay. So that's how I'm looking at that. And I wanted to go over, show you guys another example. So here's Bitcoin. I'm going to go out to a weekly chart. I'm going to show you guys something. I want to go over the exact details and accounts, because here, look, it's all speculation. People are going over Bitcoin every single day, every single day. What's it going to do? What's it going to do? Oh my gosh, it's going up, going down. It could be the bottom's there. Maybe it's not there. My opinion, I think the probabilities, everything's about probabilities. The probabilities right now for Bitcoin is boom to 80% down there to the box. That's what I would be looking at. Do you have a short opportunity in there to make money on the downside? You do, but it's I would just be careful. I'd be careful with that. Keep everything tight if you want to do something like that. I was looking for some. If I see a setup and I see it spike up real nice, if I see Bitcoin spike up real nice and I see it nice and high on maybe the 4-hour RSI, and maybe even the 8-hour RSI, which is a relative strength index, and possibly I might jump onto it. So usually right now, like I took a short opportunity. To show you guys an example, I took a short opportunity there. And when I woke up in the morning, that morning, I had no idea I was going to do a short, but the opportunity came to me. It was all the signals were there and I just jumped on it. Okay. So normally when I'm telling you I'm going to do something, I'm planning ahead on the videos. Okay. So I'll jump into a short quickly, because you just take what the market gives you and you have that opportunity. And that's usually how it goes with trading when you see something like that. That was just a really nice opportunity to take it, grab it, and boom, make a little bit of extra money. And then, of course, I got out of it too early. That's a little default of mine that I have, or a fault of mine that I have. I usually get out of assets too early. So I'll sell too early, if you will. But, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to walk away with some money than no money, right? So that's how I see that. And I'll say this about trading. You will never, ever, ever, ever be happy with your entries, and you'll never be happy with your exits. That's just how it goes. I don't think I can ever experience one where I was like, oh yeah, that was just perfect. I got it in, everything in at the low, and I sold everything at the top. Never happened to me. So, and if any traders claiming that, they're probably, telling you a little bit of a fib there. So here's Bitcoin. I wanted to go over and show you guys some. Here's Bitcoin. And you see how it came down like this, back up, and then back down. It's coming back up, and it's slowing up right there in some momentum down into that descending wedge pattern. Okay. Or you can call that a descending, a diagonal, an ending diagonal, possibly. Okay. I'll show you something. I'm going to go over here to Polkadot. Here's Polkadot, guys, right? Polkadot is like a darling cryptocurrency that a lot of people like, right? I got some details on here. Here's a 2-week chart on Polkadot. Okay. So Polkadot came down here aggressively, just like Bitcoin, right? Back up, a retrace, back down to here, it retraced, and now it's coming down into a similar type wedge. I have Polkadot on a 2-week chart because, Polkadot does have severe slowing of momentum, and you can already see on this 2-week MACD in histogram, it already turned green, and you do have a bullish cross, okay, which is good for Polkadot. This could be a little bit of an early warning shot of what's going on. Like, I really don't see Polkadot. The point of no return, first step for Polkadot is at $3.62, which is the bottom area right here. Okay, so let me just take that. I'll move it like this. That's really the area for Polkadot, okay? Coming right back down here, you could still have these signals in here, okay? So there's a good shot that Polkadot is coming up to form a bottom, okay? Otherwise, Polkadot's doing a retrace, and you know what will happen with Polkadot. Okay, that will not be good for this coin. And the coin too. The overall, my opinion on Polkadot is that it's gonna, like, in the next bullish cycle, it's just gonna break all-time highs, guys. So 54. So I think I have a high-end target. You might see $60, $70. It's all gonna depend too on the macro environment, what's going on. There could be a struggle over there, but Polkadot will rip it off pretty quick. You can see right here, November 20, and then let's say it ended right there, this February 21. So from this point to this point right here, you know, that was November, December, January, February, 4 months. 4 months right there. Polkadot ripped off a 7x, basically, 8x. I'm thinking with Polkadot, the same thing's could happen over here. If Bitcoin forms a bot, gets into the bottom, Polkadot gets down to the bottom, okay? And the Fed is going to flip and go pause, not flip. It's going to pause February, March timeframe, and there could be a rip over here, okay, with Polkadot. Maybe you know, somewhere to these areas, the 40 to areas with Polkadot, okay. You know, if it does this, you know, the 7-8, the same percentage move is only to 38 if it's down in that area. So that could be a little bit of a rip. Got to remember, last time Polkadot did it, right over here, guys. So if I start right there, November 20, and let's say finish right there, that was only 100 days. 100 days, 120 days, 4 months, right? So let's go over here a little bit more. So you can see what you want to do with Polkadot, okay, is you want to catch this part, okay? Screw the exact bottom and screw that exact top right here. Look how much time you wasted in there. Look how much time was in there. But this right here is what you're going to want to catch, okay? And I really do think with Polkadot, it's probably not even going to go beyond all-time highs, guys, with right now in this situation, because Polkadot pretty much, man, look at that. I mean, it's retraced all the way back to where it started right here. It's going to be back down in that area. But you're looking at, you know, just the same percentage. I get the exact same percentage right there. Polkadot just needs to hit $33. Okay. So that's what I think is going to happen with Polkadot, guys, is that this is going to be a surprise. So like Fed switches, pauses for a little bit, February, March, and then from, let's say, April, May. So you got April, May, June, July, August. Boom, there you go. It's done. Bam, it's up there. People are like, what's going on? How did Polkadot go from $4 to $30 in a like little section of 2023? So you see that? Like, it can go something just like that. Boom, boom, boom. And then, you know, everybody starts talking about Polkadot. When are they going to start talking about Polkadot? Right here, right in this area. And then what? Boom, boom, boom. You see? So that's something I'm thinking is going to happen over there. And how does that relate to Bitcoin? Is something along the lines over here with Bitcoin. It's going to be coming down into this descending wedge, guys. And I'm going to be waiting for something over here. Okay. Just like I was saying before, like with Quant. Quant was coming down. Boom, boom. I was sitting there. I was waiting, just like a sniper, right? What's a sniper do? Sitting in a tree, you know, the ones that are killing the animals, what I'm talking about, guys, you know, like the hunter type, okay? But we know the other type, right? They just sit there and they just wait, you know, like real quiet, hiding in the woods and the bushes and stuff like that, looking through the scope. Boom, there it is. Okay? Same thing right here, okay? Same thing right here. Same thing with Quant. Same thing with Matic. Go back to Matic. Could have got in at 35 cents and boom, and went over $1. Right here, Quant, 48 to $50, and boom, and went up. Same thing can happen right over here with Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin decided to take a different path than some of the other cryptocurrencies, okay? Now, I'm not saying, am I going to be in Polkadot? Probably not, guys. Probably not. I have to see some sort of exceptional setup with Polkadot to get into it. So, but I always keep the opportunities open for any cryptocurrency, pretty much, because, you know, the setups, you might wake up one morning and go, you know, I don't really like that coin, you know, or something. I looked at the chart looks like, doesn't look good, right? It doesn't look good. You're like, oh, that chart's just crap. You know, it's not going to do anything. And then you go back and you check it like 5 or 7 days later and you're like, wow, look, it's changed a little bit. Now it's starting to look good. So you can see, you know, it's important when you go through your coins, guys, and you're looking at these, it's important to be able to react to what the market gives you. Things can change real quick. Like, I mean, over maybe something's going to go wrong with Polkadot. Maybe I don't know, maybe the chain is broken, or they just say, look, we're going to retire, we're not going to do anything more, something like that. Okay. So you want to make sure you can react to what the market is going to give you. And the only time it's like, okay, here's a good setup, put it in there and kind of set it and forget it type thing, or not look at it that often, or just like, oh yeah, that's in a bull run, guys. We're not in a bull run right now. Okay. And the bull run that is coming, in my opinion, is going to be very short and swift. So here's what I'm saying. When you're on Twitter and you're on the other YouTubes, they keep talking about a bull run. Okay. I want to make something clear. They're talking about the bull run that's possibly going to be around 2024. Okay. So here, I'll show you something. All right. So right here, let me get my brush. Look at the brush right here. You see this right here? This is what they're talking about. Okay. Now, that right there is not going to be over here. We can reasonably expect that this big wave is not going to be over here, right? That's pretty reasonable. Probably not going to do that. Why? Well, you can see over here, to make that big wave, it had to make this little mini wave first, a little smaller version of it, come back around into a second wave correction, and then boom, it goes to a third wave. And the same thing over here, okay? The same thing over here is going to come down, possibly, potentially, probably. It's a probable and a possibility. I'm not saying that it will. It could. That's what I'm going to be looking out for. And then Bitcoin be in this area, maybe it does a run like that, right? So from here to here, it's going to be substantial gains, okay? And then the bull run everybody's talking about will be when it corrects. Don't go off the dates that I have down there. And then this right here. That's what they'll be talking about. That's what most everybody's talking about on the bull run. I don't care about that bull run right now because it's a long ways away. It's a long ways away, guys. Think about that. That's a long ways away. And believe me, in that run, if that happens and you're here and you prepare yourself now and get ready for it, believe me, you will make a ton of money. Even if Bitcoin just goes to like 70K or something like that, just barely breaks all-time highs, and Bitcoin goes from, say, let's just say 12K. Bitcoin goes to 12K and then it goes up to 38 and it does a correction back down to 22 and then it does a run back up to, let's just say 75K. Barely breaks all-time highs. You will be able to make a ton of money in that run. There's no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to do something. If you got capital to deploy this wave and it comes back down to here, and then you got capital to deploy over here, it comes back down here and it goes up into a wave, right? And it comes back down like this, and you got capital over here to deploy into that wave. Yes, you will do very, very well. But I just wanted to clarify that those on the YouTubes and on Twitter is talking about the bull run. They're not counting. This next wave, this potential wave, is going to be very vitally important to be able to plan and strategize your entries, okay, into your prospective coins that have good setups, and to have those exits out too. Remember, you have to practice entries and you have to practice exits too. Exits can be just as scary as entries if you think about that. Okay, so me personally, I usually exit early, a little bit early. Okay. Do I leave gains on the table? I do, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And instead of hoping, oh, you know what, I can get that 200%. I know I can. It's coming. It's going to blast up there. And the next thing you know, it doesn't make it, and boom, it's in a correction. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. I want to go over Bitcoin with you, and a little bit of Polkadot, kind of relating what I am looking for. Time frame that I'm looking for is, I'm looking at end of January, beginning of February time frame with Bitcoin to be done with this. Okay, to finish that descending wedge. That's where I'm looking for. Just remember, like I said at the beginning of the video, prepare yourself for possibly going into March or something like that. That could happen. Maybe this is all going to be timed together with the Fed. And then everybody on Twitter be like, look, Fed pause, look at it. We're bullish for a little while, whatever they will be in the media at that point. Possibly something like that's going to happen, kind of like it happened over here, guys. Let's go back in history and take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to go back in history over here. Right now, my system is kind of being slow on me right now. So over here with Bitcoin, they're raising rates all through here, raising rates, and Bitcoin was doing a blast, and it came through here. This is more aggressive area that they had rates going on and went to a bear market. And this the December of 2018 was a big period of time when they were thinking of, they said that they were going to continue to raise rates. Okay, they said that in the media back then. But by January of 2019, they flipped. They said, we're going to pause. And then Bitcoin did this. So I'm thinking just off the media and the news and events and everything that the same thing could happen over here. And the same thing will happen with the S&P 500. Maybe it'll come down, finish its correction going into January or February, because they're pretty much looking like they're in a downtrend right now, guys. They're just doing a retrace of the leg that they did to come back down. All right, guys, that's the end of my video. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Drop that like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.